This year's NBA Summer League was a ton of fun, and it featured a lot of notable names from sons of NBA legends to viral sensations and former top picks. So in today's video, I want to take a look at how some of these big names performed, so smash the like button and let's get into this. Let's kick things off with some of those sons of former players. I think the one that was probably getting talked about the most is the son of Shaquille O'Neal, Shareef O'Neal. I thought it was really odd that he decided to leave college despite coming out of high school as a top recruit in the country. His time on the college court didn't go great. Now, a lot of this can be attributed to the heart condition that he dealt with at UCLA, but 3 years removed from it this past season, he was averaging less than 3 points and 3 rebounds a game. For some reason, he decided it was time for the NBA, something even his father publicly disagreed with him on. Now, most players with these numbers would not receive an NBA opportunity, but he's a special case. The Lakers decided to take a chance on him, signing him to their Summer League roster. Now, his Summer League was, well, not great. He played in 4 games where he averaged just 5 points and 4 rebounds, shooting 44% from the field. While there was a couple really impressive highlights, it's very clear he has a long road ahead to getting that full-on NBA opportunity. I'm interested to see what he does next, especially with him just tweeting out, "My next move is fire, can't wait." We actually saw another son of an NBA great play on the same Summer League team, and that's Scottie Pippen Jr.'s son. Well, I think that's pretty obvious. Now, unlike O'Neal, Scottie actually had a decent amount of success playing at Vanderbilt, but he still ended up going undrafted in the most recent NBA draft. In the Summer League, he got off to a great start. He was showing off his scoring and his playmaking, but he struggled towards the end. He finished averaging 12 points and 5 assists, but shooting just 36% from the field and 22% from 3. Despite the not so great efficiency, I actually think he left a pretty solid impression from the Summer League, and because he already signed a 2-way deal following the draft, we're definitely going to see him in the G League with an okay chance to see him play on the Lakers at some point next season. The next group of guys I want to talk about are those viral sensations, and I think we've got to kick it off with LiAngelo Ball. LiAngelo's career has been so interesting to follow. He was a leading scorer of a national champion Chino Hills team. He's seen both his brothers become top picks in the NBA draft, but he struggled to even hold on to a spot in the G League. Now, a lot has led to this. He got arrested in China, ending his time at UCLA. He's had to deal with some injuries, but let's not go too crazy giving him excuses. Just like a year ago, he joined the Charlotte Hornets Summer League team. He played in 3 games and averaged 6 points and 2 rebounds, shooting 44% from the field and 18% from 3. I've been optimistic about LiAngelo in the past, and while I still root for him, it's hard to see an NBA future in the cards unless it was a Thanasis Antetokounmpo type scenario. His offensive game is pretty limited to inconsistent spot-up shooting, and defensively, while he has a lot of strength that helps him in certain scenarios, he's just too slow laterally for the guard position that I don't think it's a question he would be a liability at the NBA level. Again, I am hoping the best for LiAngelo, but he sadly didn't show anything in this year's Summer League to help his NBA chances. Now, a player that I definitely think did is Mac McClung. Now, this one's interesting. We all remember Mac McClung in high school breaking Allen Iverson's Virginia records, putting up 40-point game after 40-point game, throwing down some of the craziest in-game dunks we've ever seen. But despite the dominance, he was nowhere to be seen in recruiting rankings. Scouts weren't expecting him to be a future NBA talent. After high school, he decided to go to Georgetown, where he had 2 decent years before transferring to Texas Tech for his junior season in 2020. That year, he averaged 16 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. He went undrafted, but landed a Summer League opportunity with the Lakers, where it went pretty terrible. If you've been following the channel, we talked about it a lot around this same time a year ago, but a lot has actually changed since then. After the Summer League, he joined the Lakers G League team, where he balled out, averaging 20 points and 6 assists, shooting 48% from the field and 40% from 3, taking home G League Rookie of the Year. While the scoring production was super incredible, I actually think the biggest thing that came out of that season was the fact that he proved he could play the point guard position, which has always been a huge criticism for him when it comes to the NBA. Now, going into this year's Summer League, he actually joined the Golden State Warriors, and honestly, he was one of the most impressive players I got to see while out there. He averaged 12 points, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists, shooting 46% from the field and 50% from 3. He was really doing it all in the court, making shots, running the offense, and bringing a ton of energy defensively. It seems unlikely he's going to make it onto the Warriors' crowded roster, but with what he's shown in the last 12 months, I truly think some kind of NBA opportunity is headed his way. At the very least, he'll tear up the G League once again. Another viral name that's been out there is none other than Tacko Fall. If you know anything about Tacko, you know it's impossible not to root for him. For one, he's just fun to watch, standing at a staggering 7'6", but he also has a pretty awesome personality. After a solid career at UCF, he went undrafted in 2019. Since then, he's been bouncing around from small stints in the league and the NBA G League. For this year's Summer League, he played with the Utah Jazz, where he did pretty well, averaging 10 points, 12 rebounds, and 4 blocks. But while it's fun to root for Tacko, it's tough to imagine him ever having a significant role in the NBA. Not only is it tough for him to stay on the court for a significant amount of time due to his size, his game just gets exploited in today's style of basketball. Between not being able to spread the floor offensively and being abused defensively in the pick and roll, it's going to be a tough journey ahead for Tacko. Another viral name we saw out there was Sharife Cooper. Now this one's a little different, as there was actually a time where he was getting talked about as a first round selection. He went to Auburn where the hype for him was crazy. He averaged 20 points and 8 assists, but shot just 39% from the field and 23% from 3. Despite the terrible efficiency, it still looked like there was a chance he might sneak into the first round before it came out through the combine that without the hair, he was 6 foot at best. After that, he landed in the hands of the Hawks with the 48th pick of the 2021 draft. Now last year, he actually had a pretty decent summer league. Then he went to the G League where all things considered, he was amazing. He averaged 19 points and 6 assists, shooting with really solid efficiency. It looked like the Hawks really might have something. Then this summer league happened, and I think most people are out. It was bad, and I really mean bad. Playing 21 minutes a game, he averaged 4 points and 4 assists, shooting 19% from the field and 18% from 3. Now, yes, he's been dealing with a thumb injury, something he's been dealing with for months now, but if he's so injured, why is he out there? Hopefully that's his sole reason for his poor play, and he can get healthy and get back on track. Next, I want to talk about some top picks from the last couple years that were out there. I already talked about this year's top picks, so if you're looking for that, check out the latest video. It's always so random when second and third year guys play in the summer league. Some teams barely bring any, even when it makes a lot of sense. And then you've got some teams like the Thunder that bring 90% of their actual roster. But let's start with the Golden State Warriors. I was really excited to see them play as they were bringing 3 lottery picks from the last 2 years in Kuminga, Moody, and Wiseman that all have a ton of potential, but their time on the floor has been limited, both due to injury and the position the Warriors are in, trying to compete for a title. Their second overall pick from 2020, James Wiseman, missed his entire second season recovering from injury after a pretty disappointing rookie year. Going into this summer league, my expectations weren't too high, and well, he was okay. He averaged 11 points and 6 rebounds, shooting 49% from the field. As much as Warriors fans like to hype him up as the secret weapon that's going to take the Warriors to the next level when he returns, I wouldn't get your hopes up. His defense isn't great, and his offense isn't good enough to make up for that at the NBA level. I think he's going to be a piece of their front court rotation at best next season, unless we see some kind of crazy, unexpected jump. Another guy I was excited to see, but wasn't too impressed with, is Jonathan Kuminga. I really thought Kuminga would just dominate in a setting like this, but honestly, he didn't look all that great in a ball-dominant role. His numbers on paper look solid, 19 points, 3 assists, and 4 rebounds. But this guy was taking 17 shots a game. He had a hard time creating a shot, settling for threes, which the defense was just giving him, with him shooting 20%. When he got to the lane, there was no question he looked good, but a lot of those possessions resulted in fouls where he was atrocious at the line. He was getting there nearly 9 times a game and shooting just 47%. I'm sorry, that's not gonna cut it. Now, I'm still a believer in Kuminga, with what he could be as a defender and how he could be used in an offense like the Warriors, but I would cool the expectations that some people have of him being this guaranteed star once the Splash Brother era comes to an end, at least until we see significant improvements offensively. Now, their other lottery pick from a year ago, Moses Moody, actually looked really good out there, and with the departure of guys like Otto Porter and Gary Payton, I really hope a role clears up for him next season. He averaged 28 points in Vegas, getting to the free throw line nearly 13 times a game where he shot 88%. I really believe he could be the perfect pairing to Jordan Poole with what he can bring on both ends. Another top pick from last year that was out there was a player taken one spot before Kuminga by the Oklahoma City Thunder, Josh Giddey. There were times where I felt like it was just unfair that he was out there, but then times not so much. He looked a lot more comfortable going to the basket, but his scoring still has a long ways to go, especially on the perimeter. The passing was beautiful, but we knew that would be the case. He averaged 13 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists, shooting 35% from the field and going 0 for 5 from 3 in Vegas. In Utah, we saw pretty similar numbers. If he can just improve his scoring efficiency, the Thunder are going to have something special between him, SGA, Dort, and Chet. The Grizzlies' first rounder from a year ago, Zaire Williams, was also out there. He averaged 17 points and 5 assists. It wasn't super efficient, but really impressive. Despite playing a purely off-ball role with the Grizzlies this past season, they decided to have him run the point for Summer League, and overall, he looked good. I'm really excited to see what's in store for him next season. Former Celtics lottery selection and newest member of the Indiana Pacers, Aaron Naismith, actually played during the tail end of the Summer League, where he didn't do so great. He averaged 10 points and 5 rebounds, shooting 27% from the field and 25% from 3. I was super high on Naismith coming out of college, but he's yet to have a significant role. Hopefully with the Pacers, he gets the chance to really prove himself next year. Lastly, I just want to mention some big name rookies that I didn't get to talk about in my last video, as I was only doing lottery selections. You've got Jaden Hardy, who had a lot of eyes on him during the Summer League, as at one point, it looked like he was going to be a top 3 pick in the draft, but after a rough year in the G League, he fell to the Mavericks in the second round. He looked great to kick things off, but then the shot chucking problems we saw in the G League, we saw once again, shooting just 35% from the field and 27% from 3. Then you've got Kenneth Lofton, who gained a lot of steam through his performance at the NBA Combine. He ended up going undrafted, but looked really good with the Grizzlies. He averaged 15 points, shooting 57% from the field, showing off his reign and his insane strength, most notably against Chet Holmgren. I honestly think he would fit in really well with the Grizzlies roster. But that's the video, guys. You guys tell me your thoughts in the comments below. If you liked the video, smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.